On our silver wedding anniversary, my husband gave me divorce papers instead of a gift. 25 years is long enough, he announced in front of all our guests. I want someone young now, and you need to be out of the condo by tomorrow. He seemed to have forgotten that my parents gifted me that condo. His mother, Celeste Price, just smiled silently. I rose, took the microphone, and said something that left him speechless. That night, Naomi Sterling woke up to whispers from behind the bedroom door. Her husband, Darren Price, was on the phone with his mother again, at 3 a.m. His voice sounded strangely excited. Naomi lay still in the dark, catching snippets of the conversation. We have to do this right, Darren's voice insisted. She won't suspect a thing. Of course not, son, his mother replied. Naomi tensed. What were they plotting in secret? And why now, just a few weeks before their milestone anniversary? The hardwood floor creaked as Darren returned to the room. Naomi quickly shut her eyes, pretending to be asleep. He slipped into bed carefully, but she could feel his body was stiff, restless. The next morning, everything felt odd. Darren was unnaturally affectionate. Naomi, my love, he said, kissing her cheek. He smelled of expensive cologne. How about we choose the restaurant for our anniversary today? I want everything to be perfect. Perfect? Naomi raised an eyebrow. In 25 years of marriage, Darren had never been so enthusiastic about a family celebration. She always organized everything, and he only found fault. Fine, she replied carefully, watching him rush off to work. His cell phone was on the nightstand. The screen lit up with a notification. Naomi couldn't help but look. It was a calendar reminder. Call S at 11 a.m. Hey, Dee, she asked casually, watering the window plants. Who's the S you have in your contacts? Darren spun around abruptly. For a second, Naomi saw panic flash in his eyes, but he quickly calmed himself. Sanchez, a colleague from Seattle, just consulting him on a work issue. A lie. Naomi knew her husband like the back of her hand. When he lied, his left eye always twitched, just as it was doing now. I see, she replied with a smile, but deep inside, her chest tightened. Once he left, Naomi stood by the window, gazing at the gray October sky over Georgetown. 25 years. A quarter century. They met in college. She was a brilliant accounting student. He was an up-and-coming manager. They married for love, dreaming of children and a big family. But children never came. Doctors found nothing wrong, but the miracle never happened. Darren took it hard, especially when his mother, Celeste, started making passive-aggressive comments about grandchildren. In time, they accepted being childless and focused on the positives, more time for themselves, for travel, and for career advancement. But something vital had shifted between them. A knock on the door pulled her from her thoughts. Standing there was Celeste Price, her mother-in-law, with her usual frigid smile. Naomi, dear, she said, entering the condo without waiting for an invitation. How are you? Are you preparing for the party? Celeste always treated Naomi with exaggerated courtesy, but maintained a great distance. In 25 years of marriage, she never once called Naomi her daughter. Slowly but surely, Naomi replied, leading her to the living room. Darren wants to celebrate at a restaurant. Very good, Celeste responded brightly. A respectable venue with guests. Doing everything at home just doesn't show how important the date is. She began looking around the living room as if evaluating it. Naomi knew that look. It always made her feel, without a single word being spoken, that Celeste's suburban mansion was larger and better decorated. By the way, Naomi dear, Celeste said, settling into an armchair, I've been thinking about the future. Darren is not so young anymore. He's 53. And, well, we don't have grandchildren. Don't you think it would be a good idea to write a will for the grandkids, just in case? Naomi felt a chill. What grandchildren, Celeste? We don't have children. Well, for my nephews, she said dismissively, waving her hand. I have 2 nephews, good boys, studying, working. If we don't, the government will take everything. Naomi slowly placed her teacup on the table. And where do you keep the condo papers? Celeste suddenly asked, as if it were a casual afterthought. I'm just thinking about the boys' future. The nephews, the young people. That was it. Naomi understood the subtext. They're in the safe, she replied dryly. But why do you ask? Oh, just in case. You never know what might happen. It's good to know where things are. When Celeste finally left, Naomi sat in silence, piecing things together. The late-night call, Darren's strange burst of affection, and now Celeste's pointed questions about the house title. Bit by bit, the puzzle was forming, and she did not like the picture. She went to check Darren's computer. He had never changed the password before. He always used a simple key, the date they met. But it didn't work this time. Her heart raced. In 25 years, he had never kept secrets from her. She tried his birthday. Nothing. She tried his mother's. Nope. Then it occurred to her to try their wedding date, but in reverse. It worked. The browser history opened, and what she saw gave her a knot in her stomach. How to divorce when shared assets exist. Spousal rights in property division. Legal advice for separation. He had searched all of this over the past 2 weeks. With trembling fingers, she scrolled page after page. How to keep the condo in a divorce. Legal tricks for dividing assets. Suddenly, her phone rang. It was her friend, Candace. Naomi, you won't believe what I saw. You're Darren. I saw him at a jeweler's in Tyson's Galleria with a young woman. They were looking at rings. She was clinging to him, hugging him like nothing. What did she look like? Naomi interrupted softly. About 30, blonde, very put together, wearing a super expensive coat. Pretty, but she looked superficial. And they were so openly affectionate. Are you okay, Naomi? Yes, Naomi lied. Everything's fine. But nothing was fine. That evening, Darren returned with a bouquet of roses and a box of fancy chocolates. For my one and only true love, he said confidently, kissing her lips. One and only. How ironic, Naomi thought. She looked him straight in the eye. We need to talk seriously about our future. Darren tensed. It was subtle, but she saw it. Talk about what? He asked, turning on the TV, pretending to be absorbed in the programming. Everything's fine, right? The anniversary is in 1 week. All our friends will be there. Let's not spoil the mood with serious topics. We'll talk after the party, okay? After the party. That meant something big was planned for the party itself. Naomi nodded, feigning acceptance, but felt an icy coldness within. After 25 years, she knew her husband well. He was preparing something, calmly and coldly, involving his mother and surely a lawyer. What Darren didn't know was that Naomi had an ace up her sleeve, something that could unravel all his plans. And for now, she wasn't going to tell him a thing. The next day, Naomi woke up with a knot in her stomach, as if a terrible tragedy had struck the day before and she was just learning to live with it. Darren left early without breakfast. I have a meeting, he said. A meeting? Naomi thought bitterly. She knew exactly who that meeting was with. At 11 a.m., the home phone rang. Darren had forgotten his cell phone, leaving it face down in the kitchen. Naomi didn't answer, but the answering machine recorded the message. Dee, it's Mom. I spoke to Mr. Hayes. Everything can be arranged. The important thing is that she doesn't suspect anything until the very last moment. Call me when you're free. Hayes, the supposed Seattle colleague. Now it all made sense. Naomi felt the ground give way beneath her. 25 years. A quarter century beside a man who was now planning his betrayal like office paperwork. She approached Darren's phone. It required a 6-digit code. She tried the date they met. September 1, 1999. Nope. She tried Celeste's birthday. Nothing. Then she remembered the blonde from the jeweler's. Her intuition told her to try March 8, International Women's Day. It worked. The lover's birthday. The texts confirmed everything. Sierra, my love, a little more patience. After the anniversary, everything will be resolved. The condo will be ours. Dee, you said we'd be living together by New Year's. I'm tired of hiding. My love, everything